Hello everyone, welcome to the Java Collections tutorial. This is the second lecture in the series. So if you haven't watched the first lecture, which explains the fundamentals of collections framework, please go ahead and watch that and then come to this. Today, we are going to cover three main classes or interfaces rather: list, set, and queue. This is one category of collection framework. The second is map, hash map, those categories that we're going to cover in the next lecture. Today's lecture, we'll see the most commonly used interfaces or classes that implement that interface is implement the collection interface. All right. So first, let's begin with the list. What is a list? It's an ordered collection, sometimes also called as a sequence. In the sense, it tries to maintain the order in which you add the elements. Each object that you add is called as an element of the list. One thing is you can add duplicates. It will allow you to enter duplicate elements in the list. That is the main difference between list and set. Otherwise, most methods are same. Like whatever operations are available on the list method, they are also available in the set method. Let's see some examples. Obviously, it's a collection, right? It's a container, so you need to add something. As we have declared here, it's a list which will contain all strings, right? This is the generics. So simple, there is add method, which lets you add elements to the list. So you can add hello, how are you? I mean, any string you could add, right? So now this list has, after this statement is executed, my list will have 4 elements: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Some fun methods that are available or you can use on the list. So you're rotating the list. So before rotation, okay, let's print out before rotation and after rotation. It's going to be fun. Before. So basically rotation is nothing but you are shifting the list by one element, like towards the right direction, on the right side. We will see in the example, okay? Which means here the list will be hello, how are you? After rotation, it will move, the hello will move and will take the place of, or rather you will move in the end and take the place of hello. So it's going to rotate. Nothing will be removed, but it will kind of change place. Shuffle, it's just randomly moves elements around, and we'll see the demo. Okay, here when I run the class, you will see what it does. Shuffle is just randomly, like how you shuffle your cards when playing. You don't know which one goes there. That's the shuffle thing. You can also convert the string into traditional array. Okay, how do you convert that? First, you create an array of type string array of elements with the number of elements which are there in my list. Okay, so now my string will be 4 empty objects, elements in this string array. What you're doing is my list, you call there is a to array method and pass the string array. So now all this elements of this will be added to ARR. There's another interesting method, which is sublist, which means you can extract elements from one list and make another list. So now here it includes 2, but it excludes 4, which means it will have two elements. So it will start from second and end at third, which means before fourth. Okay, so sublist has two parameters, begin and end. It starts including from the begin and it ends right before the end index. Okay, these are nothing but some more methods. So we are just printing a sublist. If you want to check if the list contains certain elements or does the list have certain element, there is a contains method which either returns true or false based on what you have added. Index of returns the position in which the string exists or the object exists in the list, whether it's the first place, second place, third place, so the index. If nothing is there, it will return -1. So here in our case, in our list, we do not have the word test. So it will return -1, but U is there. So it will return the index of U. So after shuffling whatever is the index of U, it will return that. Is empty method? Of course, it will return false. It's obvious. We went over is empty in the previous lectures too. If you want to delete all the elements, there is remove all or clear. You could use either one of them and it will remove or delete all the elements from the list. Here, look here. Removes all the elements from this list. The list will be empty after this call returns. Set. Now the main difference, these are some of the operations on list. Set. What is a set? Again, it extends collection interface. So it has all the methods that the collection interface has to offer. Main difference, as I mentioned in the beginning, between a set and a list is that set will contain all unique elements. It will not allow duplicates. So if you want to add one, it will return true if it's successfully added. We are adding another element that will also return true because it's not there. But if we try to add again this one, it will return false because one is already there, and set cannot contain duplicate elements. Remove method allows you to remove one element from the set, and it returns true if the element was successfully removed. If it cannot find the element to be removed, it will return false. So before we jump on to Q, let's run this and see list and set in action. So list before rotation, if you see, hello, how are you? That is the order in which we entered the elements. Now see here, you're rotating it by 1. So everything shifts to the right by 1. So hello, how are shifts and you comes here. So it's a rotation. Shuffling, it shuffles in some random order. So now the elements are all shuffled, like hello is moved here, how is moved here, right? So like when you shuffle a deck of cards, you don't know which card would be where. Same way, when you shuffle a list, you don't know which element will go where. So now depending upon the positions, see, our parameters were 2 and 4. So it will contain second until the 4th. So before that, okay? 0, 1, 2, and the third, not the fourth element, right? So there's no fifth element here. So it has to stop here. So if I say 1, 3, let's see what happens here. So 1, 3. So it should take, I'm going to run it again. And let's see the output of this sublist. If I now run it again, so now see the sublist is how you. So 1 and 3, right? So 0 and then 1 and 2. 3 is here. So before 3, it has to stop. Okay. So 1 and 2. And these are the two elements. Regarding the set, before that, does it contains test? In none of the 4 elements are test. So it's false. Contains u is true because we do have u in here. Index of test, it's -1 because there is no test here in my list. Index of u is 2. So 0, 1, 2. So index is 2. It starts from 0. And is empty is false because it contains 4. Then we call the clear method. And is empty after clear is true, right? Before it was false, then we cleared, which will remove all the elements, and it's true. Now set, see we added 1. It was able to successfully add, which is true. Added 2, successfully added 2. Again, we tried to add 1. It was false here because 1 is already there. It removed 1, which is true because it successfully found 1 and removed it. When we try to remove 3, it gave false because it cannot find 3. Right? So simple, add to add the elements, remove to remove the element, remove removes one element, clear clears all element. There is also remove all, which will remove all the elements. Some fun functions available in the collections class: rotate, shuffle, try it out. Okay. You can convert a list to a regular array using the toArray method and passing the primitive array type in here. There is sublist, which returns a list given the parameters, includes the first parameter, excludes the last parameter. Contains to check, contains an index of to check whether an element, an object exists in the queue, in the list or not. Is empty, self-explanatory. If it's empty, if there are no elements, returns true, otherwise false. Set does not allow duplicates, right? Only unique elements. If successfully you add, it returns true, otherwise it will return false. Remove, again, if it's able to remove, it's true, otherwise it's false. All right, this was list and set. Now let's move on to the last example, which is queue. So here I can do is queue example.example. Okay, we'll run it. Queue, we create it because it's an interface. We create it using linked list because linked list is one of the classes that implements this interface queue. How do you add elements to the queue? Add both list, set, queue. It's common method, add. Okay, you will print. You remove again with the remove element. In queue, there are two additional elements, methods available. One is peek and one is poll. So peek at the front of the element without removing it. So just take a look at it. It will return the element, but it will not remove it. Okay. Poll will remove it. There's remove also, and there is poll also. There is one major difference. If the queue is empty, poll will return null. But remove, if the list is empty and you call remove, it will throw an exception. So is empty, just like before, updated queue. Let's see an example of poll also here. Here, if we say poll, it returns the element. At the top or at the beginning. Okay, so it will be the same element or the front element. So if we do here this one, it will be the same. Let's see it in action. If we run this now, so see here, you're printing the elements, removed element 1. Okay, there's a remove method. Peek without removing, same, see? Oh, here I didn't change it, sorry. It's poll. It'll remove it. Is empty is false. Updated queue is only element 3 because element 2 did get removed, right? Because we used poll. So very simple collection interfaces. We just saw an example of list, set, and queue. Go through the example one more time. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is see the map implementations of collection interface. All right. Go through the Java docs. They're very, very, very helpful. All right. Thank you for listening. See you all in the next lecture. Bye.